Aloha, this is Flying Hawaiian bringing you another episode of the Gun Talk. This week we're talking about the rally that happened on March 11th at the Denver State Capitol building. Many of us were there to protest against the SB 25-003. A big shout out to our host, Spartan Defense Armory and Training, and the Second Syndicate. Also there, we had many supporters like Big Timber Lodge, NRA, RMGO, and many more. As many of you already know, that the bill passed the House Judiciary Committee that night. It was a 7-4 vote. It was really, really bad. Um, Now went to the Finance Committee, but let's go over about the bill and see what's going on to do for us here in Colorado. SB 25-003 is the Semi-Automatic Firearms and Rapid Fire Device Bill. This bill is going to make it where we have to buy our rights back from the Colorado government, where we have to take a 4-hour basic safety course plus a 12-hour course split into 2 days. As many of us know, that'll be 3 different days to do classes. To get an eligibility card, well, that eligibility card is going to be provided through the sheriffs and the CPW. But that's not even half of it. The other half is that it's only good for 5 years. Then we have to redo that all over again. All the three days worth of classes. And the kicker is there is no set price on these classes. There's no set price of how much this eligibility card is going to cost us. So the next part is that the bill sponsors want to take funding from CPW, or also known as Colorado Parks and Wildlife, to fund this bill. So that's a big, huge problem right there. But as of March 14th, the bill went to House Committee, or the Finance Committee, and that's where they heard testimonies from Teddy Collins from Spartan Defense, many others, especially from RMGO, uh, about this issue. But that passed the Finance Committee 7-6 right there. So it was really close to not getting passed, but they still got it passed. So it goes on to a second reading of the same bill in the House Committee. So we might get another chance to fight for it, but as of right now, it's not looking so good. So let's go to the rally that happened on March 11th. Um, so you guys can see what happened there. Sorry for the shaky video. I was shooting it on a GoPro and a monopod stand. Also, sorry with Big Timber's Lodge speech. I did not catch all of it, what he was talking about, except towards the end. My battery died on my camera, so
joining us today. I think we're going to get started with saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll say a little prayer, and then we'll just jump on in. So the gentleman here with the American flag, we'll wait for these cars to go by. We will say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, me?
I guess, huh? Thank you. And what's your name, sir?
Steve.
Where are you from today?
I'm from Centennial.
Thank you to Steve for bringing good old red, white, and blue. So, all right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, through liberty and justice for all. Thank you. It makes me very proud to be amongst like-minded individuals and patriots like yourself, so thank you guys for this. Let's bow our heads and say a prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Lord Jesus God, thank you so much for bringing us together here safely and in liberty. Guide us as we speak today. Keep our voices strong, keep our mission steadfast. Keep everybody safe as we exercise our civic duty. God bless these people and their mission. God bless these people and our family. And God bless everybody in here, because Lord Jesus God, we pray for them too, because maybe it is true that they do not know what they do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, I'm going to pass it off to my co-sponsor here and my friend Teddy Collins of Spartan Defense.
Howdy. How we doing today, guys? Woo. Welcome out. We still have a lot of people who were waiting to get here. Traffic was horrible. I'm sure some of y'all experienced that. We had over 300 people sign up online to be here today, and we're expecting many more than that. So people will start trickling in as the day goes on. Guys, we're at a precipice here in Colorado. We're facing our rights being stripped from us like never before. We're facing one of the most unconstitutional gun bans that has ever been seen, an affront to our constitutional civil rights. This is unacceptable. We need to let these people know in there how we feel about it. We need to let them know that we will not let this stand. And if it does pass, we are going to sue their pants off until the end of time, until it's taken down by the Supreme Court. Woo!
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody that joined us here today. I know it was short notice. They like to play games up there. They were just out on the balcony laughing at us and looking at us. They might still be there. We're not going to let that happen today, guys. We're going to make our voices heard. These are our rights. It is very difficult to get these rights back once taken. Very difficult. We don't need a driver's license for our constitutional rights. I want to thank the National Rifle Association, RMGO, CSSA, the CFFLA, and many other organizations that helped make this happen today. Like I said, we're still waiting on many people to come up here today, but guys, it's going to be a long day. We're going to be in there testifying all day. You need to wait your turn. You need to be respectful as possible. And we're going to make our voices heard when the time comes. All right, guys. We're going to stick it out here. We're going to have a good time. We got a sound guy that's going to be playing some good music out here. We are going to be broadcasting what's going on inside the room out here for those of you who don't want to sit in the room all day. But yeah, that's what we got going. What you got? Oh.
Tyranny sucks.
Tyranny sucks.
Tyranny sucks. We have a permit to be here today. You feel free to scream and get rowdy if you want to out here and be as loud as you want for freedom and remind these people that we are free people and we have the freedom to speak. So speak up.
100%.
Yeah!
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to Ian Escalante with RMGO. He's going to come up here and get us all riled up. Let's hear from him.
Yeah. No kidding.
All right, everybody. Well, I wish I didn't have to be here today. The fact that we all have to be here is an absolute disgrace. We should not have to be here fighting against the scumbags in that building. They just closed the blinds, by the way. They closed the blinds because they can't handle that there's a group of mobilized individuals who want to fight for their freedom. This is insane. We were in a meeting yesterday with some of the Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee. They want to turn this bill and hand it over, your permitting, your rights, over to the Colorado Parks and Wildlife, where some random paper-pushing government employee can deny you your permit to purchase. They can revoke it at any time for almost any reason if they think that you're a threat to yourself or others. This is insane. And this is not new. We've been fighting these people for over a decade now. We've been fighting them because they have been hell-bent on destroying our rights, on destroying what we hold dear as Coloradans, and that is our freedom. We cannot allow them to do that. Right now, in Washington, in New Mexico, in New York, they are passing carbon copies of Senate Bill 3 right now. This is not a grassroots movement. Tom Sullivan didn't wake up one day and say, oh, hey guys, I really wanna, we gotta make people safe. Tom Sullivan is a scumbag who is bought and paid for by Michael Bloomberg, who is hell-bent on destroying you. And we will not let that happen. We must stand firm, we must stand strong. I understand traffic was horrible this morning. I know there's gonna be more great patriots showing up. And what we must do is we must fight back. RMGO is the only no compromise organization that has been out here fighting for the last decade against this. We have been the ones fighting this whole time. We fought against the magazine ban in 2013. We fought against red flag gun confiscation while Republicans were turning around and trying to backstab us and take away our guns. We fought all of it, and we're still gonna fight, and we're gonna keep fighting, and we're the only people who are fighting hard in the courts, in the legislature, and we managed to get 3 of the 2024 assault weapons ban supporters kicked out of office. So what we must do is we must hold them accountable. If they pass this, every single person that shows up here today, this is not the time to go home and be all depressed and say, oh, woe is me, I'm gonna leave Colorado. This is the time to stand up and say, hell no, we're gonna kick these people out of office, whether it's through the recall process or whether it's through the next election. So we're gonna do that. We have RMGO swag over there. We have stickers, we have buttons, we have t-shirts, we have hats. Go over there, get some no compromise pro-gun swag. Thank you all so much, and I'm gonna hand it back to Alicia.
I appreciate you, Ian. Thank you so much. This guy literally lived at the Capitol last legislative session. He was here all the time. I have a lot of respect for that man. He's been a great friend and he's been a great ally. So give it up for RMGO today. We're gonna hand it off here to my friend over here, Matt Turner. He's captain of Weld County Sheriff. He's gonna have some good things to say to you guys today. Give it up for him.
Good morning, Colorado. So I was out here a few weeks ago and I testified in support of constitutional carry. And I made a decision that day, and I'm still not sure where I'm at on that, but I gave Alicia my phone number and she hasn't left me alone since. I'm excited to be here, but also I don't want to be here, just like none of you. We shouldn't be here today. But myself, there's some other sheriffs here, some other people from other law enforcement agencies, we are happy to be here. Now, Alicia asked me to talk about a couple things in specific and hopefully guide us all in a direction that lets us do a peaceful protest today and be here to show our concern, to voice our opinion, but also do it in a way that doesn't get us negative attention. So, Alicia and Second Syndicate have asked that there's no open carry today, but I know there's a few empty holsters walking around. There we go. We're here to show that this bill is unconstitutional. While we're doing that, we have to do it peacefully. Let's keep that in mind. And Alicia is very determined to make that happen today. More importantly, voice your opinion. As you're here today, make sure to voice your opinion. Do it in a respectful way, but let's show people that we are here, we are safe, and we do not agree with this. We do not accept what's happening today. I don't really have much more to say, but my name is Matt Turner. I'm here representing the Will County Sheriff's Office. I am running for sheriff right now, so Matt Turner of Will County 2026. I love what I'm seeing today. This is amazing. There are good people in front of me, and I hope this continues all day. I'll be here with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So these are your reps today that are going to be who you're speaking to. So make sure you wink and smile at all these beautiful, beautiful faces. Actually, Ty Winter, you're sitting in for Rebecca Kelty today. So we have Larry. I can't ever pronounce your name correctly, sir.
Let them talk because they're the ones that's got to leave it. Hello.
Morning, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Jarvis Caldwell from House District 20. Appreciate you.
Ryan Armagoss, Well County, House District 64. Thank you.
So I heard from these wonderful gentlemen that we are going to start speaking up today. They're going to gavel in 10 minutes, 7 minutes. So I wanted all of these beautiful people to speak to you and share their stories, but we're going to be out here all day. So if you guys want to go in, if you want to register to testify from outside so you don't have to register to testify remotely, let's keep it moving. I want to say thank you to the NRA for supporting us today. I want to say thank you to all these beautiful men in blue. I wish we had more time so you can hear them and speak to them. This gentleman, Travis here, he is running for office, and he is a Democrat, and he is out here to say he rides with the two-way. So I want people to understand that this is not a partisan issue. This is a human rights issue. This is a civil rights issue. And today we only fight for one thing, and that is for freedom. So thank you guys for coming out. I say get in there, go make your civic duty heard. We'll be out here all day if you want to come back out and join us. We're going to have a Libertarian Party out here, registering people to vote, helping you guys out with some refreshments and drink. We'll see you in there.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. Cool, let's get in there. Yeah. No, let's go. Let's get in there. Yeah, let's get in there, guys. Let's get in there and speak your minds. If you want to come back out and, we'll hang out. 10 minutes, or excuse me, would you say 10 p.m. is the cutoff tonight for testimony? So we want to make sure if you have a special testimony or if you think your issue is unique, let's get you heard first. We're going to have it live stream. Remember, we have a permit here, so we could be as loud as we want to so they know that freedom still lives in the bloods of Coloradans. So, I hope they're hearing us in there. Woo woo! Gun rights are civil rights, people! We will not be silenced! You will hear us all night.
Hey, hey. Hello! All right, so I am getting feedback that some information is already, that the committee has already started, which in my opinion is a little wild because most of these committee hearings start at 1:30. They don't really start before that, and the fact that it's starting super early makes me think that they don't want us to rally. They don't want us to speak our piece. They don't want to speak the truth. And for that, I really hope people understand that that is intentional. That just lets you know where their objective lies and where their intention lies. So I hope to make this speech get in there because I not only want to tell you this rally speech that I have kind of typed up, which is extremely important. It's about 3 pages, so I was not able to memorize this, but I swear to God, every single word is from my heart, and then I'm gonna get in there because I really want you guys to fight tooth and nail, and I really appreciate you all being out here today. I know that it's so early. You all probably drove from all walks of life, from all corners of Colorado to be here, and that means so much to me. You are the true patriots of this state. You are the majority. You're just the ones that showed up today that weren't able to take off work and so forth, but there are so many people watching from live stream. There are so many people that wish that they could be here. And you guys, you're really the heart and soul of Colorado, and you are the majority. Don't let them tell you any different, okay? The news and everyone will tell you differently, but I swear to God, you are the majority. People that I've talked to, people that I come into contact with, I went to school, I went to college in Boulder, and I will tell you, yeah, I know, it was about 10 years ago, before this state became what it is, and I can't tell you how many people that I even met in Boulder that are Republican. So we are the majority, your voices do count, and your opinions do matter. All right, so getting on with my long speech. So I want you for a moment to picture a world where we are no longer free to protect ourselves. We're no longer to protect our families or our homes. Last year, it was laws to increase the taxes on firearms. This year, it's exploiting money to create a mandatory registry. Each year, they strip us of more and more rights. That's not the world I would like to live in, and I'm sure that is not the reality any of us choose to accept. Ladies and gentlemen, true supporters of our Constitution, I am Melissa Flanell, and I am honored to stand here today with all of you as not only a supporter of our Second Amendment, but also someone who has breathed the values of responsible gun ownership my entire life. And I'm sure you do too. We all grew up around firearms. It seems like that's the case. And when you do that, it takes the curiosity out of firearms, and it lets you know the true responsibility, and we have the true respect for firearms that it needs to have when you grow up around firearms. When my parents moved to Colorado from Long Island, New York, many of you might know of Dragamans.
Strong Island.
So my dad is typically called out the most well-armed man in America. We haven't truly factualized that, but yeah, I grew up around guns my entire life. I grew up around a lot of guns. And when they moved here from 1982, they started a business from scratch. Literally no building, no running water, just land and ambition. That's all they had. Over time, after living where they worked, they bought more property, expanding one business into 6. All of those businesses are still running today. And I co-manage them with my dad. You know what made it successful? Successful is that they didn't give up. They faced challenge after challenge, but giving up wasn't an option. Failure was not an option. It's not on the table. It's not there to choose from. We've all heard these people say if gun control laws keep getting passed, they're gonna move out of state. They're gonna go stock up on lowers and build them out, or best yet, I will not comply. As the saying goes, the only necessary thing for the triumph of evil is for good men and women to do nothing, to stand idly by and do nothing. Well, guess what? If my parents taught me anything, it's to not run from my problems. I face them dead on. And clearly, that's all of you who showed up today. I've always been a passionate gun supporter. Shall not be infringed is embedded in my DNA. And my true passion began when my mom passed away 12 years ago. I try not to cry every fucking time. My dad asked me to help run the business and they started, and although I graduated college with a degree in evolutionary biology, I said yes. I have made it my personal goal for the past decade to ensure that my mom's legacy and hard work doesn't disappear in vain. My parents' business is predicated on the American dream, and it's symbolic of freedom. The right to do and choose how you live, how you want to live, how you choose. And my mom and dad adapted. They overcame and they persevered. Fighting SB3 isn't just about preserving a firearms store and a shooting range. It is so much more personal than that.
Yeah! It's all
This
mine!
is a personal fight. Tom Sullivan might feel like this is a personal fight, but guess what? He has the same amount coming back on him because this is personal to me too. This is the third year these politicians are using Bloomberg money to restrict the freedoms allowed in Colorado. We have watched these weak politicians given to big money to the puppets, to be puppets, inspired by true evil. These leftists have the audacity to call us Nazis. But we are not the ones disarming the general population to threaten to disarm the population. And to those incentivized by money, I say this: cash flow will run out, but the true passion and the heart of the American people will live on year after year after year after year. Yes! You cannot challenge the heart of the American people. It will triumph over money every goddamn day. We need to remind these politicians they don't work for Bloomberg, they work for us. Every time there's a shooting, these reps want to blame me. They want to strip me of my rights. Someone who has never committed a serious crime other than a traffic ticket. None of them want to place the blame on the real culprit, the shooter or the criminal. They want to blame the law-abiding citizens. We are the first one taxed, the last ones considered, and we are the first ones punished. For the past few years, we've allowed the left to be too loud with their manipulative tactics and lies. It's now time for us to be louder with the truth. And the truth is that we were born with the right to protect ourselves with however we see fit. Yes! And I will be damned if I stand idly by to let Tom Sullivan or Mike Bloomberg or Everytown or the lunatic moms who demand action to strip away my rights. Yeah! The only time this political runaway train can take my firearms away is, like Charlton Heston said, is when they pry it from my cold, dead fucking hands. Yes! And we need to let them know this with courage and conviction. They cannot take my complacency, my autonomy. They cannot take my only equalizer. I'm 5'3", I'm 112 pounds. And I refuse to allow them to compromise long-term safety for their delusional view of a temporary solution. Because SB3 will not work, it does not diffuse criminal activities, and will not have any actual efficient solutions to Colorado. This bill is a waste of our time, it's a waste of our money. Now, I know this won't be easy, it's time-consuming, it takes away from our daily lives. Obviously, you guys know that. You're here today. You had to wake up by 5:30 or 6 a.m. and be here by the Capitol at 9 a.m. This is wild. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to see every one of you here today to take time out of your lives, because obviously the Second Amendment is extremely important to you, as it should be, and this lawn should be tripled and quadrupled with the amount of people, because we are not the minority, we are the majority. But guess what? The people who can afford firearms at this point, they work a full-time job. They are having to pay taxes. April 1st, 6.5%. They already have to pay the egregious fees that firearms have quadrupled over the last couple of years. It is not a cheap hobby. And if they think that a majority of people can afford this stuff, they are sadly mistaken. We are up against politicians who have no idea what goes on in the firearms industry. So the work starts here today. It starts this November for the next election. I will continue to educate the majority, and I hope you do too. So let's flip some seats come November, because that's what we got to do. We have to vote these representatives out of office, these traitors of our Constitution. And that is it, traitors. They want to know about constitutionality. I will tell them, you look at the Second Amendment, you look at the Bill of Rights where it says shall not be infringed, and we are allowed to have our Second Amendment right. They do not get to dictate what we are allowed to purchase and what we cannot. So I want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for standing up, for showing up. You are the true patriots of our Constitution. You are the true, genuine people of Colorado. And together we can protect our rights. We can honor the sacrifices of those who have came before us and ensure the legacy of freedoms endures for future generations, for our kids, for kids after our kids, for our grandchildren, because they deserve this right. You know how hard it is to get back our rights? It's very hard. This is where it starts. We need to fight before it becomes law. So let's make our voices heard today and every day. Thank you for having me, and here we go. I hope you guys can help. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Colorado. And I am so proud of you guys for being here. It literally brings tears to my eyes, and it prolongs the legacy that my mom started and my dad started in 1982. You guys are the true fabric of our Constitution. Thank you for embedding that and reliving that and just securing the foundation of America. Thank you.
Give it up for this broad. She's amazing. Melissa Flanell. This woman fights very hard. She does amazing videos to help inform the community of what's going on. She takes time away from running her business, from her family, from her personal life, to make sure that you guys have the information that you need, that you guys have the resources that you need. I want to thank her so much for joining us and bringing the fight here today. You know, a couple years ago when I really got involved in fighting down here at the Gold Dome, I felt so alone, I felt so defeated, because every day that I came down here was just a handful of the same old people. And they always had these red shirt ladies out here calling us baby killers. They tell us that we are the reason that children are dying in schools, when as a matter of fact, I wouldn't go anywhere with my children without being armed to the teeth and situationally aware, because it doesn't matter who they are, any child in my presence, I am their protector. And the armed people of America and the armed people of Colorado are the protectors of society, whether they like it or not. And we have a lot of FFLs and a lot of gun shops out here that are putting their notoriety on the line, they're putting their businesses on the line, they're shutting their businesses down so their employees can testify. They're fighting for us, and they're fighting for these rights that we shouldn't have to be out here fighting for. That's what I don't understand, is this community has gotten so used to compromise, we forgot that we don't have to. We don't owe these people anything. We've played their rules, we've played their games, we've given them what they've asked, and what has happened to Colorado? What has happened to this place? It's become a death trap of violence, of abuse, of sex trafficking, of fentanyl, of murder and crime. It's a cesspool.
California.
And we got to stand up, because you know what? They don't want us unified. They don't want us sitting out here and speaking our voices and meeting each other and banding together and fighting back, because they know that we are the righteous. We are the strong ones. They lie to these people and they abuse society with trauma. So these people grieve in trauma and blame the gun. But why is it the gun's fault? Why is it not the human condition that's at fault? Why are we not enriching our communities and giving them education and giving them the tools and the mindset and the self-confidence and the self-worth to want to stand up and protect themselves? Because that's what we really teach as firearms instructors and as educators and as providers of firearms. We're teaching people to value themselves and love themselves enough to protect themselves and to put their safety and their family's safety first. So remember that today when you walk in here and in these buildings that have pictures of civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King on the walls, but they forget that he was a felon who was disarmed and murdered by his government. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the importance of civil rights, and that all Jim Crow or Juan Crow laws that were created to disarm people. All these gun control laws are rooted in racism and bigotry and prejudice against us all. They hate us all equally. And I don't want you to think that they hate guns. They don't. They love guns. They just don't want us to have them. Because behind us, they're protected by those guns. So why can't we protect ourselves and our families with the same methods that they choose to? Why are they better than us? Why are their lives more valuable to protect, but our children are left going to schools where they're soft targets? Think about that today when you talk to these people and speak your mind. I'm going to introduce somebody. This is Christopher Richardson. He's a state representative. He's going to give you some information on what's going on behind us today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for coming out here today. This is supposed to be the house of the people, and it unfortunately is not. What was said at the beginning is absolutely true. We're normally on the floor discussing bills, debating bills, mostly bad bills, until noon, 1 o'clock, and committees start afterwards. So yeah, they cleared the calendar today so they can have plenty of time. And I really do hope that we have all the witnesses, all the testimony to fill all that time, and that they actually listen. And I keep saying they. I hate to be part of the they. I just want to go back a little bit. So back in 1866, a gentleman by the name of Gideon John Tucker, an attorney in New York, stated that no man's life, liberty, or property is more in danger than when the legislature is in session. And unfortunately, this legislature is in session, and they are working in overtime to strip us of our liberties. So please, stay here today. You got a phone? Call a friend. Call 10 friends. Get people out here to speak, to be heard, and make sure that folks listen to you. This last several years has been horrendous. 2 years ago, I was not in the House. 2 years ago, I was sitting in a committee room like the one they're sitting there today. I got here at 7 o'clock in the morning so I could get a seat. I didn't testify against that year's assault weapons ban until about 10 p.m. and it died about 2 o'clock in the morning. I hope we see that again today. I don't know if that'll be true, but people need to be heard. If you're the praying type, please pray for the Republicans on the committee today. And pray for those Democrats too. Pray that they open their ears, their hearts, and maybe just take a minute or two to reflect on the oath that they took earlier in January when they stood on the floor and were sworn in. The people that brought this bill, Sullivan, others that have signed on, originally every Democrat in the Senate signed on to this bill. Every Democrat in the Senate violated their oath of office the day they put their name on that.
They're traitors.
So.
They're traitors.
And they need to be reminded of that, and they need to be held accountable for that. Please do. Make sure these people do not remain in office.
Recall.
Yes. A few years ago, recalls were started. We changed the makeup of the Senate several years ago. Wow, man, we're talking 2014 when this crap all started. So it gets worse every year. It needs to stop. It needs to be reversed. We picked up 3 seats in the House this year. First time in a decade we've gotten more folks on the right side of these issues that are serving the people of Colorado into the House. We need 11 more to take a majority, but every seat counts. Every voice in there that's speaking for you counts. So please, just make noise today, bring more friends, be heard. We have a constitution that is supposed to protect the minority from the tyranny of the majority. What we are suffering in this state is a tyranny of the majority. And we should not stand for that. We shall not stand for that. And we shall keep calling them out every minute of every day that we can. So please, 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 please. I know I'm preaching to the choir because you're here, but bring more into this. Bring more people out here. Put people, if they can't be here, let them know. They can go online. You can listen to the testimony. You should be flooding these people. Emails, texts, phone calls. Their aides should be scrambling in there with little slips of paper saying, we're hearing more and more. Let's try to stop this. Let's try to stop this. I don't know where it goes today. It should die. It should have died. It should have never been introduced on the Senate side. It's got a price tag attached to it. This state is looking at a $1.2 billion shortfall in the coming year. And we're spending time and money trying to take people's rights away. It's not right. It needs to stop. So it stops with us. It should stop today. If it doesn't stop today, we keep fighting until we stop it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being seen. Thank you for being heard. And just keep fighting. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. So for what I'm hearing right now is they need more people in there to show unity in these rooms because they don't think we're here. They don't think that we're gonna fight. So I encourage you today to use your voices and speak out. You know, when I first got into politics, a lot of these organizations that were pro-2A nationwide told me, you're never gonna make a difference, Alicia. You're never gonna make a difference, you're just you. You're not a lobbyist, you're just a regular old chick, right? From this neighborhood, I grew up in these streets. I grew up on this Capitol. My mother worked in that building across the street for 20 years. I was always down here. I took the bus down here as a kid. I protested with the Chicanos and Mexicanos and Mestizos all down here against tyranny because people forget that dead men don't tell tales. We're not in the history books. You know why? Because they eradicated our people. And how did they do that? Disarmament. That's how they did it. Gun control is rooted in racism. Gun control was created by the Democratic Party. Gun control was created in the 1800s because the Republican Party wanted to give socioeconomic and political equality to people that look like me, to people with brown skin, to people with Asian skin, to people with black skin, to people that were non-white Protestants. And who were the people that owned the guns? The same people that owned slaves. And they said, we don't want resistance. We want the monopoly on violence. We don't want these people to be able to revolt against us. We want to control them. So what are we going to do? We create the Democratic Party. And through state constitution, we ratify them throughout the South and build restrictive laws into the government so they can't afford guns, so they can't have them, because they want that monopoly of violence. This has got to stop. This is your opportunity today to speak out and tell these people who you are. You don't need the facts, you need your heart today. You need to tell them who you are, tell them your name, tell them where you're from, and tell them why it's important that you carry guns, and tell them that you are going to continue to carry guns, because if we have to, we will fight this all the way to the constitutional, ends of the world. We'll go to the Supreme Court if we have to.
Yes.
Because this country was founded on racketeering, on tax evasion, on resistance. This country was founded in resistance. So remember that today. There are people that died for this right. Make sure that their voices are heard through yours. I'm going to introduce somebody here real quick. This is my friend Clay Kimberling. He's from the NRA. They were very generous and kind to donate funds today so we can gather, so we can have this equipment, so we can have parking and people to support us. So I'm going to hand the microphone off to him and give him some love, guys.
Thank you, Alicia. Yeah, my name is Clay Kimberling. I am with the National Rifles Association, but it's a little bit more than that. I was born and raised here in Colorado, down in southern Colorado, the San Luis Valley. Anybody know where that is? Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. I actually still live there. Came up here this morning from it. I went to school. I went to CSU. Go Rams. I don't know if that's a popular thing, but go Rams. But the point of that is yes, I work for the National Rifles Association, but I'm from this state. And that speaks to each and every gun owner, that NRA members of all organizations all across this country and this state. We're not a national gun lobby or anything like that. We're people. We're average day Americans that stand up here every day and fight for our rights. I was just in the committee room just a few minutes ago until I popped back out here. And I often hear this repeated theme. How many of you remember the appointed Representative Hernandez, the one that got primaried out after that one? He always used to say, oh, I'm 25. I'm here representing this generation, because this generation needs change. Well, I'm 23, sir, and you do not speak for my generation. That is a fact. We're here to stand strong, so thank you guys for coming out today. Make sure to get inside, testify, remain respectful. Thank you for coming out. Fight for our rights, and fight on.
Thank you, Clay. Thank you for your support today. I hear a lot of crap all the time, people saying, you know, the NRA, we hate the NRA. You know what? These guys have been out here. I see them. I see their faces when it's time to show up here at the Capitol and testify. There's a lot of organizations that don't. So those are the people that are supporting you today. People like RMGO, people like Ava Flanell, people like Dragon Man. I want to give a shout out to some of the people that helped support this rally today. We have, of course, Spartan Defense Armory. Give it up for them. They're amazing people. Support them, buy from them. Me, of course, I want to thank me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I don't sleep, and I don't want you guys to ever get comfortable thinking that we can relax or lay down with these people on our backs, because they don't. So it's time that you get uncomfortable, and it's time you start putting in that work. Dragon Man's, of course. Thank you, Melissa. Ava Flanell, Rocky Mountain Gun Owners, the NRA. Specialty Sports and Supply, Firearms Legal Protection. We got DCF Guns. We got the Colorado Republican Party. We got the Chainsaw Caucus out here. We got the Empire Gun Club. We got the Libertarian Party. We got Rally for Our Rights. We have Centennial Gun Club. And of course, the unification of my company and Spartan Defense, the Second Syndicate, Colorado's grassroots 2A organization. Support us, follow us, donate to us, because we're just getting started. I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of this nonsense, and I'm tired that they think that I can't make a difference, because you know what? I'm a pain in the ass. I'm relentless, and I'm a bitch. And I'm a bitch who loves her guns, and I'm educated, and I'm intolerant of this nonsense. And I want you to be intolerant of this nonsense, because we're gonna be loud today. They're gonna be hearing us all day today that gun rights are civil rights. And this is a civil rights and a human rights issue, because all of your lives matter. Remember that. Look at these amazing people right here. We have Representative Matt Brooks, and we have Rebecca Kelty. Give it up for them. These people are always fighting for you. They know they're outnumbered. They know these people scoff at them and treat them like crap, and they still show up every day with your best interest at heart, and they speak for the voices of the people. And I appreciate these guys. So thank you so much for being patriots. Thank you so much for doing the right thing and standing up for freedom. I know it's not easy, but we're here with you, and we support you, and we thank you. So we need to support inside, guys. We need to start getting everybody in there. If you're gonna testify, you're welcome to stay out here. We're probably gonna change the audio a little bit. We're gonna see if we can get the hearing played out here for you. Our audio guy is gonna have to go, so we're gonna switch up the microphone. And I might just have to stay out here and hang out with y'all, because I've spoken plenty of times in this Capitol, and I think it's time we give a little bit more unity for everybody else in there other than myself. I have one more person that I want to introduce you to. He's a good friend of mine. He goes by Big Timber Lodge. My friend Nick.
We will do whatever it takes within the confines of the law to remove you from power if you vote to take away our rights. God bless you all. Let's get to work, Colorado.
Thank you, my friend. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure to see how quickly this group of people has come together. And I will say this makes me very proud, because, you know, as much as they want to kick us, as much as they want to litigate us, as much as they want to legislate us, you know what they are doing? They're waking a sleeping giant. Yeah. Because we're pissed now. And guess what? We're getting stronger, we're getting more unified, we're communicating with each other, we're getting more organized, we're getting mobile, and we're getting serious. And I love seeing all these people come together for one cause, for one real cause, because the second protects the first. We don't have any other rights if we don't have our guns. And they want to sit here and act as if we're the bad people, if we're the violent ones. We're peaceful, we're not harmless. And I am looking forward to the day that I will arrive at this Capitol to walk these tyrants out of this building and replace them. So I hope that they hear me in there, in this gold dome, as they sit in there scoffing at us, laughing at us. I'm getting texts from people inside saying they're harassing our people because they're wearing shirts that have their businesses on them, because they have guns on their shirts. They don't want us to film. They don't want us to show the world that they're in there making fun of us, they're abusing their oaths. We even have the fire people coming out here. Look at all these amazing people. Give it up for them. This community is strong. Let's show them how strong we are. There is a lady here that has become a favorite of mine. She has been testifying and she fights very hard. Come on up here, Missy. She is one heck of a survivor. They have thrown her out of this building before because they don't want to hear what she has to say. So you know what? Let them hear it today.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to take a couple minutes. I think it's important for me to share with you. If you don't follow closely, I babysit these motherfuckers, okay? I babysit them. Sometimes I sit there and I watch their facial expressions when you speak, and they sneer and they laugh when you speak. In this place, laws are written to take your money, take your income, redistribute it to illegals. Right now, they want your taxes to pay for abortions, by the way. We're talking about that. Yeah, they're talking about that. They made a holiday up in this bitch to celebrate abortion. Don't let these people make you feel any type of way about yourself. They are evil, okay? They're evil. They're thieves and they're evil, and they are oppressors. So you need to stand up for yourself. You guys want more information on what happens in this place? I highly encourage you to follow Free State Colorado. He has a great channel. He'll keep you informed, okay? Reach out to me if you see me on the social media. Say hi, drop me a DM. Anything you're curious about, I follow them. I can't tell you the amount of bullshit bills that these people write. It's all meant to steal from you, to take your rights away, to stranglehold our economy. When we call these people commies, that's serious. That's the most accurate representation to what's happening here, okay? They are price controls. This week we were talking about price controls. Okay, if you are renting a home, if you have one property that you rent out, they want to make it so you have to take Section 8, so you have to take federal rent vouchers like the illegals. You know these illegals that took over the apartment complexes in Aurora? They want to make it so if you have one little piece of property that you're trying to make a little extra change to make do, they want to make it so you have to take in those federal subsidies. Do not sleep on these motherfuckers. And if you want more information, reach out. Reach out, okay? We need to babysit them really fucking close. And I highly encourage you guys, if anybody is able to run for their jobs, take their fucking jobs, okay? Take back your representation. And thank you. You all are beautiful people. Don't forget that.
Thank you, my friend. What she said is right. They have every plan today to pass this bill. I've been hanging out like a little leech in here on the faces of these tyrants, listening to them talk about that they will pass this no matter what. And they plan on it. They plan on ramming this horrible legislation down our throats and handcuffing the people of Colorado. We will fight. No matter what, no matter if we win, no matter if we lose today, we already won. You know why? Because you showed up. Yeah. And you have to start showing up for yourselves, and you have to start showing up for each other. We have to realize that together is the only way that we're going to triumph here. We have to get organized. Regardless of your political party, you need to get involved in local politics. You need to start having conversations, difficult conversations with your neighbors, with your community. Get involved in your school boards. Get involved in all your committees. Make sure that your voices are heard in everything. It's now more than ever, guys. Now more than ever. The next step to this is confiscation. You realize that, right? Absolutely. SB 25-003 is a backdoor gun registration. Why? So they can come to your house and take your guns. They're already doing that with red flag laws. They're already bypassing your due process. They're already raising the age to be able to possess a firearm. So you could die for your country, you can catch a felony, you can get married, you can get in debt, but you can't protect your family with those guns. You can't hunt and feed your family with those guns. You can't buy ammunition or get training or education with those guns. But you sure as hell can pay your taxes, can't you? You sure as hell can fund their wars. You sure as hell can pay for their policies to do the things that you don't agree with. God forbid that we stand up and speak and unify. Would you like to say something else, Melissa?
So thank you, Alicia. I swear to God, this girl is amazing. She puts so much energy in every single protest, every rally, everything pro 2A. Alicia has dedicated so much more time to this effort than anybody. She is so passionate. She is so involved. And this rally would not be possible without her. So let's give it up for Alicia. This woman is amazing. I mean, she attends conferences that includes like bikers and stuff. she attends anything that includes hunters or anything pro 2A, and we would not, you know, I tell her all the time, your participation matters, your thoughts matter, your presence matter. Without every single one of you being here today, we would not be able to acknowledge your presence of the Second Amendment. And this is incredibly important because shall not be infringed is just, it's absolute. And I know that for a fact Chad Clifford is looking for constitutionality in some of your testimony. Some people say these representatives don't care about constitutional law. I know for a fact that 2 of the representatives are looking for your factual statements to let them know how far they can go before it really legally infringes on your rights. And that's all they care about. At what point will we be legally sued for? How far can we really push the limits of the Second Amendment? And what I say to them is, it's the Second Amendment. That's how far you can go. The Bill of Rights, that's how far you can go. Why are they not being held accountable legally by the Supreme Court, by our Second Amendment, and by our Bill of Rights? That is it. We don't need to define we don't need to decipher this. This is in stone. And I don't know why we are here today. The fact that we have to argue this is a waste of your time. It's a waste of my time, because these representatives who want to challenge it are
corrupt.
Yeah. They want to see how far we can go to push the legal limits. And unfortunately, the amount of people that want to allow it will just enable them to keep restricting that further and further. So in Colorado, this continues to happen, and me, like many of you, have lived here since the 90s. This is not the state that I grew up in. Who in here has lived here in the 90s? Who moved here before 2010? Who knew this state as a purple state? Who knew this state as a red state? Same. My parents lived through the Clinton assault weapons ban bill, and I don't ever remember it being this restrictive. And guess what? Tom Sullivan and all of the other representatives who are going to support this bill will do absolutely nothing to the clear solutions that they intend, and therefore it will not stop. They will continue to go after your rights next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. And I hope that you guys keep coming out, you keep showing up, because our voices are not going to get lower, they are going to get louder. And every single year that they want to enable these bills and enact them, we will continue to come out more and more and more people. And you know what? They put this meeting upon adjournment so that people wouldn't come out at this time, because they knew that, number one, you're working. Number two, Alicia, what time did you wake up this morning?
I haven't slept, ladies and gentlemen. This is the baggage that I brought is under my eyes, because I wanted to make sure that we had everything we needed today. So I haven't slept.
She hasn't slept. I've been up since 5:30 in the morning. You think that's the time that I want to wake up? Absolutely not. I wake up at 7:30, and I'm waking up and I'm thinking, F Tom Sullivan, F Bloomberg, F Julie Gonzalez, and F the other representatives that are in this Capitol building that make it a train wreck, a freaking dumpster fire of a Capitol, because this building is pathetic. And it is not representative of our Constitution. It is not representative of what I believe in and what our founders believed in. And I am so absolutely embarrassed by the representatives that want to vote for SB3 to represent Colorado. I grew up in a state where I felt like our constitutional rights were enabled, that they were upheld, and I am so embarrassed at this point to tell people that I am from Colorado. I am putting on an event at Dragon Man's, and it's so hard to even to convince companies that we are still allowed these certain type of rifles and so forth, because I know that 99% of our customers are law-abiding citizens, and they just want the ability to buy and purchase and protect their families with how they see fit. And it is embarrassing to say that I'm from Colorado, and I never thought that I would see that day. And I appreciate representatives like Representative Brooks over here, because they actually stand up for what so many people died for. Here at Dragon Man's in Colorado Springs, we have a Civil War and a Revolutionary room, a couple of rooms, that actually showcase how many people and the violence and the sacrifices. I don't want to get into it, but I could really get into the Revolutionary War and the Civil War at this point. Your rights should be upheld based off of these sacrifices that those men and women made. People died. People literally gave their lives to ensure that you have the protections that we want to protect today. I don't understand why this is a challenge, why this is a conversation that even should be had. And Matt Brooks wants to say something.
Good morning. Thank you for coming out, because without you, this doesn't mean anything here. So thank you. Thank everybody for coming out. Give yourselves a hand, please. No, just having a little bit of a conversation. First of all, my name is Max Brooks. I represent Castle Rock. We're circling the wagons in Douglas County, one of the last bastions of conservative principles. We are going to hold on to that for as long as we possibly can. But let me tell you something. I was just having a conversation here. Say, what is it that you can do to truly help? This is great. Coming out and expressing your First Amendment and saying, you know what, we're not going to stand for this. That's one thing that you can do. But what we have to do, we have to change the math in this building. If we don't change the math, we're going to be out here trying to fight for our constitutional rights constantly. They are going to try to take it away from us if we do not get better representation in this building. In the House of Representatives, I'm a representative. In the House, if you're not tracking it, 44 Democrats, 43 Democrats, there's only 22 of us. There's only 22 Republicans. That's bad math. That's why this keeps happening. If they tried this and the math was flipped the other way, we'd kill it in committee, right off the bat. We'd allow you guys to be at work, at home, enjoying your constitutional freedoms and not have to worry about having them stripped away. Anybody, raise a hand. Who is represented in their house by a Democrat? Who, okay, that's what you can do. We need to find good candidates that can run against these Democrats, because if we do not change the math, we are always going to be on defense. We've got to be on offense. That's what has to change. Support good Republican candidates. Let's change the math in the House. Give me more Republicans to work with, and I swear to you, this is going to stop. This is going to stop. I ran House Bill 1055 this year. 1055 was a repeal of last year's 241353, which was an unconstitutional, ridiculous, duplicative permitting and fee structure on FFLs. It already exists. If you're an FFL, you already know that you have to abide by ATF rules. You already know that you've got permitting and you've got all of the fees that go with that. Why do we need it at the state level? We don't. So what I tried to do is to go on offense. I tried to repeal last year's bad legislation. I guess you figure out how that worked out, right? It died in committee. Give me more Republicans to work with. Let us go to work for you, and we will stop this nonsense. I swear that's our solemn goal. That is what we want to work for. We want to work for you, but we need more of us up here. We're going to work to defeat this. That umbrella back there says it all. 003, it's unconstitutional. Quite simply unconstitutional. And we're going to fight it. If this thing gets out of judiciary today, I hope that it goes to finance or goes to appropriations. If it does not go to another committee, if it gets out of judiciary, you know that something is even more wrong than what you already believe. There's a $4 million fiscal note attached to this bill as it stands right now. We do not have any money in Colorado. We have a $1.2 billion deficit right now. We cannot afford this legislation. So if it doesn't go to finance or appropriations to die because we don't have the money, then you know that it's even worse off than what you believe. We're going to fight this. If it gets to the floor, if it gets to the House floor, we already talked about it today. We're expecting at least 12 hours of floor fight, and we're going to fight it tooth and nail. I promise you we're going to fight. We're going to give everything we have. But I don't want you, I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to sell you any false hope. At those odds, at only 22 of us, it gets off the House floor. Let's be real honest. If it gets out of judiciary, and if it gets to the House floor, it gets off the House floor. We need more Republicans. I want you all to go back, and I want you to think about that. I want you to start talking to your town council people, city council people, any Republican that's in your district that you know that they're active, that they're involved, tap them on the shoulder and tell them it's time to come up here. They have got to face, we're elected, here's the good news. We have to face re-election every 2 years. In the House of Representatives, every 2 years. So when we're going through our statewide elections to hopefully put a Republican governor in here, right, in 26, every single House Republican is going to be up for re-election. Every single House Democrat is going to be up for re-election. Make sure you're finding good candidates in your districts and get more Republicans up here so this doesn't ever get out of the crib. It never learns to walk, and we don't have to try to fight it and play defense. Thank you all again for coming out here. Let's see if we can knock this thing down in judiciary today and get back to doing the good work for Colorado people. good work for residents. That's not unconstitutional.
Thank you!
Thank you, Max Brooks. I appreciate this. So we're taking testimony. Testimony is going on inside right now. All the commie mommies are up there telling lies and lies about this community, blaming us for the madness of crazy people. They're in there telling lies, saying that guns are the #1 leading cause of children in America. That is a lie.
Abortion is.
Abortion is, you're absolutely right. And you know what else is? Other kids. Other kids are killing other kids. It's illegal to kill. It's illegal for kids to have guns.
Blame the parents.
Are they talking about that? No, they're blaming the tools. Why? Because it's the easy way out. It's the excuse way out. Because instead of investing in their community, they want to blame this community. So, okay. Okay, we're going to have some more reps speak for you. Melissa's going to also talk here in a little bit about some more bills that are going on to educate the community. Testimony is going on, so I might head in there so I can speak, but I will be back out. Hang out, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Well, my name is Larry Don Sukla. I'm the representative for House District 58. That's from Montrose County to Gunnison County. It's 8 counties. And I can tell you my pickup right now has bullets rolling all over the floor. And the reason that it has bullets rolling all over the floor, because that's how we live down there where I'm at. We live, I have a field that's full of prairie dogs. I have a side-by-side when I change my sprinklers. Every day I have a shotgun and I have got a 17 or I've got another gun. And I shoot that gun every day. I did not, where I live, we don't have shooting centers. We learn how to shoot out our back doors. My father gave me my first gun when I was 6 years old. He handed it to me in my hand for Christmas. He gave it to me. I got to look at it for a little bit, and then he put it in his closet till I was 11. Then he handed it back to me. It was a single shot, and I went out there in the field where we lived on 500 acres, and I started shooting that gun. And I learned how to shoot that gun by my father. And then I did the same thing. My aide right here, sitting right there, that is my 19-year-old daughter. She knows how to shoot a gun. She has her own gun. And it is ridiculous that an 18-year-old cannot buy bullets until they're 21. It's absolutely ridiculous. There is a bunch of commies in this building. I can't stand them. I came here, this is the first time. I've only been here for 2 months, and it is disgusting what I have seen. I'll tell you what, I live 2 blocks from here because I live 400 miles from here, and I have to live 2 blocks from here so that I can go in here and work for you every day. And what I have seen in that 2 months is 1 cop in 2 months, 2 blocks from here, and then they use this statistic. Well, crime has went down. Yes, crime has went down because you don't have any cops that are enforcing crime in the first place. It is true. They are doing everything to manipulate us, and I can tell you this one thing about guns. If they take the guns away from us, it's over for us. It is over. This, in my opinion, is the hill we die on. We die on this hill because if they take them away from us, there is nothing else. And like I would always say, I have got more women in my family. My dog is a female dog. I have daughters and I have a wife. And a gun is an equalizer for a woman, period. A gun is an equalizer for a woman.
Yes.
Thank you, but this just pisses me off. Let's beat them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bullshit.
All right, the great representative from Montrose. You just can't beat that rough and cattle type of representative. I love it personally. Those are all the morals and the ethics that I want to uphold. So thank you so much for speaking. Thank you for all the people that have spoke today. I am from Colorado Springs, so I feel like I'm kind of in the middle of ground. Just want to let you all know that committee has started. For those of you who have signed up to testify, you more than likely will be called here in the next, I don't know, 1 to 6 hours, because these things can go on forever and ever. But if you haven't and you're just here for the rally, like, woo, rally people. I want to give you some insight to the latest amendment. In the last 24 hours, this is how wild this bill is, SB3. They know that a majority of sheriff's departments are against this bill. And that should really tell you everything that you need to know, is that when law enforcement doesn't want to really hold people accountable in an unconstitutional way, that lets you know that this bill is unconstitutional. Voila. The governor appoints the committee members to Colorado Parks and Wildlife. This should be questionable in itself. The latest amendment took out the sheriff's ability to give you these eligibility cards because there's been so much pushback from sheriff's departments. And they have just completely scapegoated the sheriff's departments. So sheriffs will not be in charge of giving these eligibility cards. It will now be up to Colorado Parks and Wildlife. Will there be circumventing the funds from the Wildlife Cash Fund? Which you guys might have some insight in the fact that this is illegal. So the fact that this is happening is a little bit wild. And if they are able to pass this, is completely corrupt. And I know that lawsuits will be filed because the funds need to go to habitat management, to search and rescue, to maintain our trails and our hiking trails and so forth. So this money that hunters are supplying from their hunting licenses and their fishing licenses and their parking passes should not be going to restricting them on what they can purchase for their hunting abilities to take down what they want to take down, and the funds will be redistributed in an illegal way. And I don't think a lot of people actually acknowledge this. Can they get away with it? Absolutely. Because the governor appoints the committee members. In case you didn't all know that. The governor gets to appoint which members he wants to put in place of the people who can control how the money is distributed. And if there are corrupt people on our committee board of the Colorado Parks and Wildlife, our trails and suffers will be damaged, and our trails will be poorly maintained. Because now that money is going to be going towards a registry, towards unelected officials giving you an eligibility card to give you the right to exercise your Second Amendment. Unelected officials, people who are not actually acknowledged by the general public, who are not really giving exposure. We don't know who these people are. We don't know that they are rightfully put in place to give us any sort of right, and we shouldn't be buying back our right. We shouldn't be asking permission for this right. So we're now, if you vote for SB3, or if you're in some sort of way, which I'm sure you guys aren't, but those people who are in favor of SB3 are giving the power to people who were not elected by Colorado to be in charge of our Second Amendment rights, to be in charge of giving us the permission to exercise our Second Amendment right. We don't know these elected officials. We have no idea who they are. They were appointed by the governor. And if the governor is Democrat, who do you think he's going to elect? Who do you think he's going to put in place to judge you? To give you the permission to exercise an inalienable right given to you by God when you were born in America, the ability to exercise your Second Amendment right. The fact that we are allowing these representatives to elect these officials to be in charge of your eligibility card should be illegal. And we should fight tooth and nail to oppose SB3, because this bill in itself is unconstitutional, it's illegal, it's allowing unappointees to give you the permission to exercise your Second Amendment right. And if any of you are angry, if any of you are furious of this, I absolutely stand by you. Because this is un-American. This is absolutely egregious. And I have to stay peaceful. And I have to stay basically well endowed to the fact that I can't do anything about it except allow the lawyers to exercise the ability to give lawsuits and so forth with the Supreme Court, but this makes me absolutely furious because this is illegal. It's illegal on so many levels. It is un-okay on so many levels, and the fact that you guys are here lets me know that you all know this is not okay. I get it. I absolutely get it. So, thank you for being here today. The committee has started. If you have signed up to testify, I do encourage you to go inside. I am signed up to testify, and I gotta get inside there if they call my name, because you get 2 minutes. 2 minutes. As if that is enough to let these representatives know how angry you are and the legal injustice that they are serving and the absolute traitors of our Constitution. If you don't like it, get the F out of America. Move to freaking Canada, move to Europe, because we don't need you. This is not what the Constitution stands for. This is not what our founding fathers stand for. And you are a traitor of our Constitution. You are a traitor of America. Get the F out. We don't want you here. We don't want you. We don't need you. You have done an absolute injustice to America. Get the F out. I don't understand how you're still here. Get out. I don't like you. I absolutely don't like you. And for that reason, I have no idea how these elected officials are still in office, but we need to vote them out. Come November, educate all of your family, all of your friends, all of your acquaintances, repost those Facebook, whatever, but you need to educate the majority that we do not want these elected officials who are providing more crime in Denver, around the state. In case you guys didn't know it, these elected officials are bringing in more cartel members. Did you know that there are over 1,200 deaths per year from fentanyl? That's 3 per day. That is more than the homicides committed combined. That is 3 per day. You want to know how many people died that Tom Sullivan wants to advocate for? Guess what? That was 12 people. You know how many people die per day for fentanyl? That's 3 per day. Are they advocating for fentanyl? Are they advocating for criminals?
Yes.
No. They don't care about the criminals. They just care about disarming the American citizens. They don't care about the actual statistics. 3 per day. That's 1,200 people, guys, per the 12 people that were lost in the Aurora shooting. Why isn't Tom Sullivan talking about that? That's what I'm gonna leave you with that.
Mic drop. Mic drop, ladies and gentlemen. Support her. She does a great job of creating videos and educating Colorado and the nation on what's going on here. You know, it's nice for me to have all these beautiful, strong 2A women to stand with. That's one beautiful, unique thing about Colorado is our armed women are dangerous. Our armed women are dope. We have such a plethora of really, really important and strong generational women that were raised in the armed industry. So shout out to Dragon Man for coming out today. Shout out to everybody that showed up. Shout out to y'all. Give y'all a round of applause and clap for yourselves, because it takes a lot of guts to stand up for what you believe in. You know, there's a lot of people that are in this state that don't support our way of life. They call us awful names and they treat us poorly. And it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there. Because this community has this idea of this gray man theory, right? That we don't want people to know that we're gun owners. We want to be stealthy. We want to be quiet. Well, this is what got us here, is being quiet. Tolerance is what got us here. Saying, you know what, I donate $35 a month to my local gun organization, that should be enough. No, that's not enough. Thinking, oh, well, this is unconstitutional, so, you know, they'll just fight it in the courts. That's what got us here. Apathy is what really got us here. This community is apathetic, and we really need to step it up and believe in ourselves and encourage one another to get more involved and to unite your voices. So thank you all very much for coming out. We're gonna get everybody in the Capitol now to start taking your seats and get ready for this fight. I'm probably just gonna go in there and testify and come back outside, because I'm so sick and tired of hearing the lies and the nonsense that they spew about this community and the stories that they tell to victimize us and rob us of our rights. I'm done listening to them. So you're welcome to head on inside. We're gonna get the sound changed out here in a minute. Our sound guy, give it up to him. Thank you so much for coming out here and helping us. That way we can speak to you guys and share our voices. We're gonna have some more speakers come out. We're literally gonna set up some speakers out here on the lawn, because we're gonna be here all night. We're gonna get the court proceedings, or the hearing proceedings, played out here so you guys can hear what's going on. We have a whole bunch of different political parties here to help you register to vote. If you want to learn how to get more involved, come have a conversation with me. I'll be sitting over there. If you guys have any questions, or you have something to want to say, or you want to share your story, bring it my way. And like I said, we really appreciate you guys coming out. Please follow us and support us at the Second Syndicate. We are getting set up to be a donation-based organization, so we can start supporting you in this community better. So if there's something you want to contribute, you have a talent, you have a skill set, you want to start investing in this community, that's a great place to start, is to come over to the Second Syndicate and join our Second Society and become a voice for your people. So thank you so much. My name is Alicia Garcia. I am the plaintiff in Garcia versus Polis. I want to give a shout out to everybody that sponsored this rally today. I'm just going to name them all because they deserve to be named. So let's do that. We have Ava Flanell, we have Rocky Mountain Gun Owners, we have the Chainsaw Caucus, we have DCF Guns, we have Centennial Gun Club, we have the NRA, we have RMGO, we have Spartan Defense, we have the Libertarian Party, we have the GOP, we have Big Timber, he's out here today, we have Specialty Sport in Colorado Springs. We have a bunch of amazing people rally for our rights. This is a community-based effort. We couldn't do this if we didn't have the support of the people and of each other. So thank you. We are gonna have more rallies like this. I plan on bringing Lily Tang Williams here next month in April. We're gonna bring her out to Colorado, and we're gonna have another rally, and we're gonna have a bigger rally, and we're gonna keep rallying, and we're gonna keep uniting, and we're gonna keep pushing back until these tyrants know that we are not to be fucked with. Because fuck them. Fuck Julie Gonzalez. I saw that POS walking in here today. I walked past her and she has her hair wet and she looks disheveled and unhealthy and miserable. And I said, oh, hey, Julie, What another day that you just go to work to strip people of their rights and lie to them and gaslight the people. She's a Latina and Chicana representing Colorado. I'm a Latina and I'm a Chicana. And she's robbing our people, the same people that were shot in the streets and murdered and raped. She's disarming them so they can't fight back and convincing them that their lives are worth nothing, to hand over the power to the government and let them to make the decisions for them. A woman like that, have you seen her? Do you think she's the type of woman you want making decisions for the best interests of you and your family? No. I don't think so. I don't think so. But you know what? I'm coming for you, Julie. I'm coming for your seat. I can't wait to get rid of you. So don't get too comfortable. All those tyrants in there, we're coming for you. I don't care what we have to do. I don't care how long we have to do it. I will not rest until they escort you off this property with all your bullshit propaganda, because this community's done. We're done with you. So let's go in there. Let's speak our voices. Let's be honorable, and let's show them what we're really made of. God bless you all. Thank you so much for coming out. Peace be with y'all.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed that rally. I sure did. Thank you for watching to the end. Stay tuned for more updates on SB25-003. If you want to watch both days of this bill, I'll put it down below in the description. It's going to be from Spartan Defense. They live streamed both days. So for next week's episode, I'm going to be posting it a little bit early, since I'll have a class on this weekend. So